Recorded. And I'm going to share a screen. Hello, everybody who just tuned in or who's watching this on the replay. This is OUJ episode session number 432. And let's do a little jazzy spider walk on. Get myself a little bit. Let's see here. Oopsie, something happened there. I did something crazy. I did something crazy. You're silly. Oh. I was going to share. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. There he is. That's me. That's me a little bit bigger. Let's do that. So this is not at all me trying to get you to play jazz. This is not at all me trying to teach you a bunch of new chords with highfalutin names to them. It's all about getting your fingers moving. It's just a 2-minute, which I'll stretch out to like 45 minutes, but just a 2-minute exercise to try to get that left hand, just the fingers loosened up, and maybe use your pinky a little bit more, etc. Maybe we'll do the overhead cam just for fun. Let's do that, see what happens there. And so the idea is that you take your F7 shape, which looks like an F, with a friend added with your ring finger, and then with your pinky added down there on that first string, 3rd fret. And that's your F7 shape, and these are all movable shapes that we're going to take a look at, and they're called movable shapes because if you keep the shape, fingers on the same string, same distance apart, and move them down the neck, then all of a sudden you've got a G7 without changing anything in your fingers. You're just moving them, so it's a movable shape. And then 2 more frets down to the 5th fret, you've got an A7. Not trying to get you to play this or do anything, just kind of talking about movable shapes for a second. And that's the cool part about movable shapes. And then you got 7th fret B7. And then 8th fret is C7. And so that should sound like, if that's C7, that should sound something like, it does kind of sound like that in a much higher tone. Or, so you go C7, C7, and then that 8th fret F7 shape. Nice. So it gives you a chance, if you find a movable shape like that, it gives you a chance to play that chord. Different chords on different parts of the neck with just the same shape. But the idea here is that you would take, we're just trying to get our fingers to move. So I'm taking my index and my middle finger, and I'm just switching them to form that C diminished shape. So it was forming an F, and now it's kind of like forming the first 2 index and middle like a D7, island D7. 2 open 2, except it's not open because I kept my ring finger and my pinky in the same place. So I'm just moving those 2 fingers back and forth and back and forth. So it's just a little spider walk exercise. And then, so you would do that a couple times. And then this F9 shape, which you see right there, big F9, the 4th shape that you see there. Now you're rearranging your index and your 2 middle fingers, the middle finger and the ring, to form that kind of 1, 2, 3, 4 all stacked up, except your index finger is off by 1. And then to get back to the diminished shape, you're moving your middle and your ring, boop, moving them again back. Boop. So and then to get back to F7, you move everything back. Whoa. So F7, diminished, the 9 shape, back to diminished. That's just a little exercise to get all 3 of these fingers moving around. And then your major flat 7, you have that F9 shape, and you just move your index finger out 1 fret up the neck. Kind of an interesting jazzy chord. And now may be the point where you say, well, wait a second, Bob, that hurts my hand. That hurts my fingers. Well, the beauty of the exercise is you form the shape, take that F7 shape down to the 5th fret, where everything fits a little bit easier. Go back to your diminished, so that's on the 6th and 7th now. Back to your F7 shape. Back to your F9 shape. Back to diminished. Now move your index finger over. It's a shorter move because you're on a different part of the neck where the frets are nice and close. And then move your, we haven't gotten there. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So that's your major 6 is when you move your middle finger out. So now you've got a big space between, on the 6th fret is all open. So you're on the 4th fret with 2 fingers and you're on the 6th fret, or you're on the 5th fret with 2 fingers. 6th fret is open. And that's your major 6 shape. Push one of your fingers back because it's starting to hurt. Push your other finger back. Now you've got your diminished shape again. Flip them into that F7 shape. Move it someplace else, like the 7th fret. Diminished. 9. Diminished. Flat 7. What? That's better. That's a pretty sound. And then your middle finger out for your major 6. And you can move up and down, and as your fingers get loosened up a little bit, you can start back at the 1st. Index out. Middle out. F7 slide to the 2nd fret. So I might do this in the morning. I just grab my ukulele and I just kind of screw around with this and make these shapes and move them back and forth and keep that ring and that pinky together so you can reform that F7 anywhere you want to go. I'm up on the 4th fret or the 5th fret or the 7th fret. It gets a little bit trickier now when you get way up the neck because everything tightens up. But you could do it on the 10th and 12th frets. And this isn't leading us to any song or anything that we're going to do today, although we do play a couple of diminished chords. But I do have a thought about diminished chords, and so we're going to manufacture the opportunity to play a diminished C diminished in a couple of minutes. And that thought is that we see diminished chords once every 15 songs maybe. And so we don't see them often enough to really get them dialed into our repertoire. And so the only way you can really practice them is if you manufacture places in the songs that you're playing and practicing where you just throw in a diminished chord. And so we're going to throw in this C diminished at the end of, I think, 4 out of the 5 songs. The other cool thing about the diminished shape is that it repeats. I just went black there for a second. It repeats every 3 frets, so that shape, that 2-3-2-3 shape, if I go to the 3rd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, 6th fret, Went from 2, 1, 2, 3. I think that's right. Every third fret, the chord repeats. You've reconfigured the notes, but you're playing the same notes. Maybe a higher pitch, maybe a lower pitch, but it all repeats. So it's kind of fun when you get to the end of a song to play, let's say a song that ends in C, and we're just playing that diminished shape, and you take it up to the 5th fret and resolve with C. Ah. So we're going to do something like that. I don't know where we'll mix it in. So that's the jazzy spider walk exercise is what that is. That was just for fun. Let's see, what are we going to do here? Hello, Susan. Nice to see you. Let's see. Let's share something else. Let's share a song. Oh, I have to tell you, there are 2 songs that I added to the Folk Americana folder but didn't add to the book that we're going to have to go back to next session in a couple of weeks. And those are This Old Town, really sweet. Do you need that? I don't know if I need that. I don't think we need that. Yeah, let's do that. Nancy Griffith song. Let's do that. Okay. This old town should have burned down 1926. So, so I added that sometime in this past year, but not before I published the Folk Americana book. So we'll go back and do that. And then I had told Jane, and I was playing it one day, The Speed of Loneliness, breaking the sound of the speed of loneliness, breaking the speed of the sound of loneliness, breaking something with loneliness, John Prine song. And added that in the middle of the year when Don Hanna and I were fooling around with it. So that's there. And so it fits right here. Both of those songs fit right here with the T's and the S's, or the S's and the T's. And so we'll come back to those. Those are worth taking a look at, I think. This is Sophie Madeline. Almost ragtime progression. At F minor, now we've talked about this before, you have to decide, make a decision what you're going to do there. I think C sus4 works just fine. That's your C sus4. Here's your F minor. So you do get your G sharp A flat. If you do something with that top string, but if you don't, I think it works just fine. So that's your decision, what you want to do, whether you like to bop your fingers around and test yourself or not. C major 7, I think I threw that in. When I first configured this is Sophie Madeline original. And so I think I had to, I don't think there was chord music for this. I think I had to just watch her play it over and over again. Got a B flat diminished right back there at the diminished, but that's on the 1st fret. So open 1, open 1. So that's pretty straightforward. And then you got a nice F7. And you know, I always think that you can add your pinky on your F, which really lends itself to adding your ring finger for your F7 and having a 4-finger F7 instead of a 3-finger F7. It's totally up to you. And are those all the tricky ones? Yeah, I think that's it. And we're just doing a little. Since we're not using you, I think we're just going to pick you up and take you away somewhere. That's what I think I'll do with that. That's what I think I'll do with that. I'm just using my thumb. I might at some point use the nail, but I'm just using my thumb on these 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I could navigate the ocean in a homemade boat, or fly across the desert on a 10-pound note. I could do most anything everywhere I go, if I could take your love with me. Oh, I could tame the wildest animals in just one stare. I'd even take my chances with a polar bear. I could be in mortal danger, I wouldn't care, if I could take your love with me. And so you made me a promise that you would always be around. You would stay true and honest. We should have gone over that. So you would stay. On that 3rd beat, I put my pinky down to get ready to give me the anchor for that C diminished. True and then I'm just reconfiguring the other 3 fingers into a G shape. Honest. So so you made me a promise. And get that pinky down when it comes to stay. Somewhere in those first 3 beats, get that pinky down. And then reconfigure for the C diminished. So you made me a promise you would always be around. You would stay true and honest, 'cause I need you in my pocket, in my heart, in my head. I just had to find a way, take you everywhere I went. G flat, G, G flat, G, G, G flat, G. That was your mid-song ukastenic moment. And so you bought a ukulele with a message inside. I should always have it with me, never leave it behind. Know everywhere I play it, I'll keep you in mind. And I can take your love with me. And I can take your love with me. And I can take your love with me. Except we were going to do the pinky C, the C diminished, up to the 5th fret and resolve with a C. So I can take your love with me. would that work? Let's see. Oh, that is some kind of fancy jazz stuff. I don't know about that. Anyway, that's a Sophie Madeline original. You are not going to find that in any other songbook in the world. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Let's do the Lonesome Friends of Science. So, you can do what you could just strum it out, of course. Pretty simple chords. You just strum it out. But we're going to try a picking pattern here. We're going to build our picking pattern. We build our picking pattern by taking a sip of pineapple juice. Third string, fourth string. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 3, 4. C, G, C, G. Third string, fourth string, third string, fourth string. You could play that for the whole song. Lonesome friends of science say the world will end most any day. Well, if it does, then that's okay, 'cause I don't live here anyway. I know there's 2 other strings to play, but you could, to practice that, to get that muscle memory of 3, 4, 3, 4, you could, and you get bored doing that in the kitchen without a song, you could play the whole song that way. Okay, now where we're heading to is 3, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4. 3, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4. The way we get there is we go 3, 4, 1. And the 1 is my index finger. And I'm just doing thumb and index the whole time. 3 is my thumb. The thumb is going 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. And then I'm doing other stuff with my index finger. So 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. And the 1 is your index finger hitting the first string. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1, 3. 3, 4, 1, 3. 3, 4, 1, 3. 3, 4, 1, 3. 3, 4, 1, 3. Now understand that this took me, I think, a month, which is why I wanted to show you that 3, 4, 3, 4. I think it took me a month. Every morning for a month, I would do this for 15 minutes. 3, 4, 1, 3. Okay. 3, 4, 1, 3, 2. Now your index finger has come up to the second string. 3, 4, 1, 3, 2. 3, 4, 1, 3, 2. 3, 4, 1, 3, 2. 3, 4, 1, 3, 2. 3, 4, 1, 3, 2. Well, we have that fourth beat, which is up here. So it's 3, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4. 3, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4. 3, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4. 3, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4. And it's just that simple, except it takes a long time for your mind to connect to your fingers and to get that rhythm going. 3, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4. 3, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4. So we're going to do that so the Lonesome Friends of Science is the chorus. So when you see in the verses, at the end of a verse it says chorus, we're going back to that first section. And we don't do in that first section, that 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth line, that kind of grayscale line. We don't do that until after these last 2 choruses. So the first, after the first verse, go back to the chorus, we come down to the second verse, and then at the end of the second verse and that next chorus, then we add that line at the bottom. I swear that's how we're going to do it. Now, we'll strum out the verses. Poor old planet Pluto now. And I'm just doing thumb down, up, down. He never stood a chance, no how, when he got uninvited to the interplanetary dance. So just a real simple thumb down, up, down, or down, up, down. And then when we get to the chorus, I'm going to go right back to, and you can just keep strumming if you want, or you can go back to, just to kind of get that muscle memory going. So this is one of those that you would come back to the replay and practice a few times until you understand get a real good feel for the rhythm of the thing. Who's got questions? So this was the original picking pattern for the speed of the sound of loneliness. But I've adapted it here for the Lonesome Friends of Science. Same artist, same picking pattern. No las preguntas, ustedes. Nosotros, something like, no, that's us. Ustedes. You don't have any questions, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Well, let's try this just for fun. Nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lonesome friends of science say world will end most any day. Well, if it does, then that's okay, 'cause I don't live here anyway. I live down deep inside my head, where long ago I made my bed. I get my mail in Tennessee with my wife, my dog, my kids, and me. Now we're gonna strum a little. Poor old planet Pluto now never stood a chance, no how, when he got uninvited to the interplanetary dance. Once a mighty planet there, not just an ordinary star, hanging out in Hollywood in some old funky sushi bar. Lonesome friends of science say the world will end most any day. Well, if it does, well, that's okay, 'cause I don't live here anyway. I live down deep inside my head. Long ago I made my bed. I get my mail in Tennessee. My wife, my dog, my kids, and me. Next verse. Vulcan lives in Birmingham. Sometimes he just don't give a damn. His head is full of bumblebees. Wears his pride below his knees. Venus left him long ago for a guy named Mars from Idaho. The Vulcan sent a wedding gift, a 3-legged stool and a wheelchair lift. The lonesome friends of science say the world will end most most any day. Well, if it does, then that's okay, 'cause I don't live here anyway. I live down deep inside my head, where long ago I made my bed. I get my mail in Tennessee, my wife, my dog, my kids and me. Grayscale lines. Uh-huh. Those bastards in their white lab coats who experiment with mountain goats should leave the universe alone. It's not their business, not their home. I go to sleep, it never rains. My dog predicts hurricanes, she'll smell a storm a mile away. Well, that's all the news we have today. The lonesome friends of science say world will end most any day. Well, if it does, then that's okay, 'cause I don't live here anyway. I live down deep inside my head, where long ago I made my bed. I get my mail in Tennessee, my wife, my dog, my kids and me. Oh, 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 oh. Diminished chord. That's the lonesome friend of science right there. That's what that was. John Prine in the house. From John Prine to Jackson Browne. What about that? How about them apples? That is a sweet little picking pattern. I hope you practice that. Incorporate it into something good in your life. We're going to come right back to it. So that's the prelude. Next session, whenever the heck that is, we'll be doing that with Speed of the Sound of Loneliness. Changing gears. So we got an acoustic moment here. If you take a look at that second line, first line, first verse, C, G, A minor, G. There's a question about how to do that. You know, I haven't really thought about it. I just play it. When I play it, I just play it. Whatever happens to my fingers happens to my fingers. When I'm trying to explain it to somebody, then, you know, you could think this through a little bit. So if you played your two-finger C with your middle finger hidden on that first string second fret, then you could do C, G really fast. And then your index finger is right there for A minor. And then could come right back down for G. So that is, you know, that's something that you could try, I guess. I just kind of let my fingers float on this one. Well, I've been out walking, so that's how that goes. Then it comes right back at you. I don't do that much talking these days. These days. So that, you know, it repeats. You see, 2 lines later, all of a sudden you're doing the same thing twice again with that F in between. Second verse, same thing. Third verse, same thing. Seems like it's twice almost in every section until you get into that the interlude. Both in the intro and in the musical interlude there right in the center of the page, we're doing 2 beats. Just slowing everything down. So I'm just doing thumb, strum, thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, index. I like to add my pinky to that F. You never know when you're going to need to play a diminished chord. There's no diminished chord in this song, but we might play it at the end. I think either Jackson Browne or Greg Allman, when he gets to that very last line, please don't confront me with my failure. They add a C, so F/C. They add that pinky, and they only single strum it, and they just let it hang out there. I'm aware of them. And I'm absolutely sure both of them play diminished chords at the end there. I might have made that up though. Who has questions? This would lend itself well to pick and strum, I think, if I ever worked it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I've been out walking. I don't do that much talking these days. These days. These days I seem to think a lot about the things I forgot to do for you, and all the times I had the chance to. And I had a lover. I don't think I'll risk another these days. These days. These days I seem to be afraid to live the life I have made in song. But it's just that I've been losing for so long. These days I sit on corner stones, count the time in quarter tone to 10, my friend. And now I believe I've come to see myself again. keep on moving. Things are bound to be improving these days. One of these days. These days I sit on cornerstones, count the time in quarter tones to 10. My friend, please don't confront me with my failures. I'm aware of them. Diminished. Oh, Action Jackson in the house. Oh my goodness, are you ready? You got your whiskey glass on your pinky? Shot glass on your pinky. Gonna do some sliding. My slide's ready. Is your slide ready? I suppose I could change my music. I changed your music. I could change my music. The heck? What the heck? For those of you who follow OUJ's Facebook group on, that's English. I can do English right now. Those of you who follow OUJ on Facebook, I posted a really sweet version of this last night. 3 guys playing guitar, acoustic guitars. Couldn't find a great there's a couple of versions of people playing ukulele, including me, but I couldn't settle on anybody. But these guys were playing it so well that I posted it to Facebook. And so if you haven't caught that already, you might take a look at it. So what we're doing, because, it's a honky-tonk kind of country song, and because we don't have 3 acoustic guitars, we're trying to create some of that sound by sliding into your G. So you take the G, your regular G. Hello, regular G. Taking it up to the 1st fret, all the same strings, but your first 2 fingers are on the 1st fret instead of the 2nd. So that's flattening the chord and then bringing it back into place. So I'm just hitting the chord in the flat position. And on that first downbeat, I'm pushing it right through that fret, keeping those strings pressed down, because if you lift up, then you're not going to get a slide sound. You're going to get a muted, junky sound. And I'm doing the same thing on the D. There's your D, my D. Your D may look something like this. And I'm taking it all to the 1st fret and sliding it right in. You can get, for those of you who were here last time, we took a look at the D hammer, where you pick up your bottom finger on your D and then put it back down. So you can get some of that sound with a hammer. If you don't like sliding in, you can get some of that on that. You can get some on G, picking up your middle finger on your G, or your bottom finger on your G. But I like because we use the slide in some other songs, and so I like to use this slide here. And then your B7, you can slide in if you like to bar your B7. If you like to do the G form of the B7, put that on the 1st fret and move that over the 2nd. So that is 1, 2, 1 open. If you like to use the E minor type shape, boom, 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 stair step shape, start that on the 2nd fret where you would start your F and slide that over. or forget about the whole thing. That doesn't hammer so well. That doesn't hammer so well. That doesn't hammer at all. So on the B7, I would slide. If you want to get, that slidey feel to it. But D works well. And G works well. For a hammer. 4-chord song is not that tricky. See if they were doing anything. We end with a G, and then we could pop up and take that G form into a diminished form and resolve with a G if we wanted to. Which would be kind of fun. And that diminished form is kind of fun because you can slide up with that slide as well. So, anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about, and that's the truth. Who's got questions? We're doing great on time. I'll kill time by telling you some funny stories. Once upon a time, 1, 2, 3, 4. How about that B7? C, we didn't talk about C, so C doesn't slide that well. You could go C major 7 to C to your regular C position. That doesn't do anything. But if you're willing to do that G minor 7 shape on the 2nd fret, or your B flat shape on the 2nd fret, but I suspect most of us will just play a C there. Where were we? We're at the intro. 1, 2, 3, 4. B7. Sitting at a tiny table in a ritzy restaurant, she was staring at her coffee cup. He was trying to keep his courage up by plying booze. The talk was small when they talked at all. They both knew what they wanted. There was no need to talk about it. They were old enough to scope it out and keep it loose. She said, "You don't look like my type, but I guess you'll do. Third-rate romance, low-rent rendezvous." He said, "I'll even tell you that I love you if you want me to. Third-rate romance, low-rent rendezvous. Get your slide on. Get your hammer on. When they left the bar, they got in his car, they drove away. He drove to the family family in. She didn't even have to pretend she didn't know what for. Then he went to the desk, made his request while she waited outside. When he came back with the key, she said, "Give it to me, I'll unlock the door." She kept saying, "I've never really done this kind of thing before. Have you?" Third-rate romance, low-rent rendezvous. He said, "Well, yes I have, but only a time or two." Third-rate romance, low-rent rendezvous. Third-rate romance, low-rent rendezvous. Third-rate romance, low-rent rendezvous. Woo! That was a diminished third-rate romance, is what that was. Let's see what we want to do here. I think we want to play one more song. So Amy's friend Alice, she was a huge Big Star fan. She may have not been a Big Star fan at all, but somehow she glommed onto this song, 13, and it turns out it's a 70s song, and I'm supposed to be a modified, self-proclaimed expert in 70s folk rock. Never heard this song before, let's say, 2017, which is not the 70s. But there it is in Wikipedia's 70s folk rock group. And so, anyway, Alice loved this song, and Alice's birthday was coming up, and this is 2017, mind you. And Amy and I were budding ukulele performers. And so Amy said, "I'm going to learn this song." So Amy found the chord somewhere. She started messing around with it, and then since I was doing all the chord charts then I grabbed it. I said, "Give it over." I said, "Give me that." And then I started messing around with the chords and made a chord chart, and we learned it, and we played it for Alice's birthday. And we've played it here at OUJ twice, once, 3 times in 7 years. But it's a sweet song. You can tell it's vintage OUJ because it's 2 beats each, and I still have the layout of it. Looks like it's the 3/4 time with a chord and 2 dots, but those are all 2 beats each, all the way through, 2 beats each. And an apostrophe and 2 dots is 2 beats. So 2 beats, 2 beats, 2 beats, 2 beats. There is this cute little thing that happens. So it's A minor. Second line, "Won't you let me meet you at the pool?" That B minor to E minor. That could be an acoustic moment if I wanted to spend time on it. So that's a little bit tricky. B minor, E minor. But this, maybe Friday I can get tickets for the dance. A minor, A minor, A minor, A minor. So you're playing A minor. Then you D7, so you can just flatten out your A minor. You got your A minor up there. flatten it out and put your ring finger down there. Yes, you could play 2-0-2-0 if that's your desire, but you could just flatten out that A minor. Then you've got a C, so you could just keep your ring finger down there for your C. And then you got a B minor 7, you could just put your middle finger down there again for the B minor 7. So it's kind of an interesting little sequence there. What is that? Yeah. And then A minor. And you could just pop your B minor up and arch it and get your A minor. So what? D7, C, B minor 7, A minor, and a G. You can do down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. To get your rhythm going, you can do. And again, I'm just playing this with my thumb, trying to show folks that you can do a lot with just your thumb without having to do a lot of extra strumming and fancy, fast stuff. And a lot with picking. But that's it, I think. Pretty straightforward song. Pretty interesting. Waiting for questions. Actually waiting for inspiration. Actually, my mind was just floating out here somewhere. But I'm back. The Lonesome Friends. What was that line? I lost my mind a long time ago. What was that? What was that? Da, 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 da. No, that's Take Your Love With Me. Yes. I lived down deep inside my head where long ago I made my bed. Yeah, that's pretty apropos. 1, 2, 3, 4. This lends itself to the two-fingered C and G. Won't you let me walk you home from school? Won't you let me meet you at the pool? Maybe Friday I can get tickets for the dance, and I'll take you. Two-fingered C. Won't you tell your dad, get off my back? Tell him what we said about painted black. Rock and roll is here to stay. Come inside where it's okay, and I'll shake you. Won't you tell me what you're thinking of? Would you be an outlaw for my love? If it's so, well, let me know. If it's no, well, I can go. I Won't you let me walk you home from school? Won't you let me meet you at the pool? Maybe Friday I can get tickets for the dance, and I'll take you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Won't you please do a diminished chord to finish this off? If we don't do a diminished chord, I'm not signing off. Ooh, G. Diminished on the second fret. Resolving with a G. That was, what was that called? Acapella, innovative, fooling around is what that was. Oh, well, that was a fine way to kill an hour. What the heck? Screwing around with stuff. How's everybody doing out there? Y'all doing okay?
Bob, instead of that diminished, I found a G major worked fine at the end for that.
Well,
No,
you mean this? Well, I encourage experimentation. We are nothing here at OUJ. We are nothing but encouragers of experimentation. So, yeah, that G major chord is a beautiful.
I have to. I don't know.
You were the sunshine, babe. You were the sunshine, baby. Whenever you smiled, you were the sunshine, baby. That's what I'm telling you. Everybody good? We all good? All right. I'm going to go look at the chat just to see what I gotta go, gotta run. Somebody had to run. That's okay. It's all good. Okay. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to sign this off, close this out. That's OUJ session 438. And we are signing off till next time. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you.
Bob.
No, thank you.
Another good session.
Yeah.
All fun, all the time.
Okay. Yes, right. Very good. Thank you, Bob. Bye, other people too.
Thanks, Jane. See
Uh,
everybody.